How you
Yeah,
doing?
right. Happy hump. No, today is Wednesday. Don't do me that.
Today's Wednesday. You are so man. Days be going together.
See how
Almost
you
got
treat
you.
me? See how you treat me? Because you had me stressing for us. I'm like, wait,
Ah, sorry. Happy Wednesday. I had to think about it.
hump day
Gee,
to you. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm holding on.
Come on.
Thought I
Hey.
was getting a little closer to the cross, and then you set me back. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Let's figure this out. So, listen, first of all, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule
Yeah,
to join me in the hot seat on the tan line. I got
come
questions
on.
that need answers, and your smile is just lighting up the day. I'll
I
tell you that.
got you.
You hear me? So listen, I mean, we can start this so many different ways, right?
Yes.
You have been busy. When we say busy, you have gone from X, Y, Z, and you've mastered it all. So give us the inside scoop as of where are we now and how did we get here?
Well, say master it. Do we ever really master it?
I think so.
I
I
don't
think
know.
so. And then you know what? It's just like you master it and then you teach the masters how to master it. You know what I mean?
Is that what
Repetition
happens?
is key. And you do it in the spirit of excellence, and they'll have to challenge you on that.
I mean, that is very true. I will give you that. That is very true. I don't know if it's ever mastered, though. I think you just try to make it as great as you can and then pay it forward,
Right.
right? And that's how I live life.
I love it. You know, we're talking today about the NFL Players Choir, and so many different people have gotten caught up in this and saying, oh, this is awesome. How is it that you knew you had a gift outside of your gift?
Oh man. Well, you know what? For a lot, and I'll speak for the majority of us, part of the choir. We got into music at such a young age. For me, I was a kid. I would climb into the pots and pans, pull those things out, and bang on it like it was drums. And then from that, growing up in the church, I became the drummer for the church and sang in the youth choir.
I love it.
So music has always been a passion of mine, right? And a lot of guys will argue more of a passion in music than it was sports. But sports just, the sport chose us, and then
Right.
we ended up in that profession, but never let go. We never let go of loving music.
You know,
So
and with your career in sports, tell us a little bit about that. You started off when you were young and you had
yeah.
the passion for it, the skill for it. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, so I started playing football when I was 5 years old. Driving by the little Pop Warner field, saw the kids running around. I was like, "Mommy, please, can we stop?" And saw the kids with pads on, and I wanted to play tackle, but I was too young, so I cried. They were like, "Nope, you got to start with touch." And but yeah, from then on, I played. I know, just little, the age where the helmets are bigger than the rest of the body.
Right.
you know, and from there, I loved, you know what, I can say this now very transparently. I loved competing. I don't know if it was football necessarily that I loved, but I loved the team, I loved the camaraderie, and I loved to compete.
Right.
And that carried me through high school, a full scholarship to college at Penn State. And then, as you would know, I was drafted in 2003 in the second round and had a fun 10-year NFL career. So it was
Man,
a
that's a whole
blessing.
decade. You can't just pass by that like you blink and it's over. No, that's a decade in. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
And
It
it's like
is.
every 10 years, you get to
Yeah,
reinvent the wheel. You get to do something different. And today you're
that's
in your
right.
office, you're working still. And it's
Yeah.
just like you're always on to something next. And now you're on the scene of AGT, America's Got Talent. I was like, wait a minute. First of all, that's one of my favorite shows ever. You know what I mean? And so is this
Yeah.
choir that blink once for yes, twice for no?
Okay.
Is this choir really good? Blink once for yes, twice for no. Okay, 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 okay. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't all hype, because we're
No.
already cheering for you because we're on the team.
Yeah.
We've been on the
Yeah.
squad for the last
Yeah.
10 years. And
Yeah.
I want to know, do you practice just as hard for this choir as
As
you did
we
for football?
we
Blink once for yes, twice for no.
I have to answer that. So what's interesting is that so yes, the guys are really talented. I mean, you have some really strong singers in the choir, right? And throughout the league, guys are musical.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to practice, what people don't know is we all live in different parts of the country. And so, in order to practice, it's like we'll send you a track, learn your part, but we don't practice together until we get together, which is normally a day or two before we perform. So, what y'all normally see is a couple of hours worth of performance of practice before we step out on the stage, which to us, it just makes it even more fun and challenging. It's like, come on,
Did you
let's
get
put
more
something together.
butterflies for the AGT stage or for the 50-yard line?
Both. You know what? It's very comparable. Before we ran out there, guys were, and it's kind of funny. So in the locker room before a game, you got different types of guys. Some guys are pacing back and forth. Some guys are sitting quietly. Some guys are really trying to hype themselves up. And the exact same was for AGT. Guys were backstage doing the exact same thing.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And you know what? It's like it's a family reunion. And when you're talking about the team and everybody on the squad, we got Michael Gaines too. Now I want to know.
Hey, KeShun, I got to jump on this other interview, man. I love you. I'm going to call you later, too.
Mike, you're not muted, Mike.
Oh, okay, bet.
Hey, B,
All right.
you know, B, quick question. You know how you got that one cousin you can't take nowhere?
That's Mike. There it is. There it is.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, cut your camera on. Mike, come talk to us, Mike. Like, hey, Mike, what's good, Mike? How you doing, Mike?
Don't you start with me, children.
Now listen, you come in and you say it out loud for the class. I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you practice just as hard for this choir as you did for that 50-yard line? Blink once for yes, twice for no. Look at me, Mike. Make eye contact.
I think we do. I think we have to.
So you might want to.
I ain't no spring chicken no more. Huh?
Hey, baby, let me tell you something. You don't have to be a spring chicken. The rumor has it you get better over time. You know, when you let that season marinate.
Come on.
How it's always better the next day. Boy, you're just warming up. That's like that boy is good.
Listen, we get better over time. See, I got my days when my faith just kicks in and my knee don't hurt, my back don't hurt, and I be getting it in. But boy, them days when it don't kick in, you feel my back now. Yeah.
My neck and my back. Oh, wait a minute. Don't worry about it. If it gets to the ankle, we know who to call. I got you.
What up, B?
Good to see you, Mike.
Hey, listen, I was just telling them, you know, it's like y'all have been practicing and been mastering your crafts for so long. It's like a muscle. You know, I'm an entertainer. I love to sing. And it's one of those things they say, if you don't use it, you lose it.
That's right.
But when you have a gift, it's like you really have to hone in on that and you really have to nurture that. And this has got to be the next level of excitement because you've already had such a lengthy career and people know you and we're a part of the squad. I asked B, I say, hey, man, is the choir really good or are we just cheering because we love you? Hey, man. I need to know. I'm here for you, but
legit, we some bad suckers now.
Okay.
I'm gonna blow it up a little bit. We some bad suckers.
You better say it with your chest.
Some bad suckers.
Now, whenever it's time to get together and get these songs, how is it that you know that this is going to be something that will resonate with the crowd? You know, because it's always that part where you want to touch the soul, where you really want to grasp their attention. And for those who may not be familiar with the songs or with everyone in the choir, what is it in that moment that you want the audience of AGT, one of the biggest stages ever when it comes down to those who have talent? And we know you for your talent, but I mean, we don't know it with the helmets on. So now this is you in the most vulnerable state because you're doing something different. You're leaping out on faith and y'all getting us all bucked up. So what is it that you want us to walk away with in that moment?
You know what? A lot of people see, when they see us on the field with helmets on and they hear NFL player, they think aggression, they think angry, they think mean, they think all of those things, right? And when we step out on stage, the first thing is always, number one, we want the crowd, we want whoever is listening to walk away with a sense of just positivity and joy. We want them to see unified that we can be up there, you can be happy, sing, dance, move, anything that's positive and uplifting. That is always going to be the message and the vibe and the feel, right? Because it's something that's so different than what they're accustomed seeing during our playing days. That's something we always keep in the forefront. Mike, I don't know if you want to piggyback on that.
Yeah, man. And then I think your original question was how we pick our songs, right? So the unique thing about this choir is everybody knows their position. Bryan, he's the smooth dude. He hit you with the smooth. They go KeShun.
Wait a minute. He gonna hit you with the woo woo woo.
Yeah, he gonna hit you with the woo woo woo. He gonna hit you, right? Then you got
okay. So Mike, what you coming in with though? What you coming in
got me. See, I know my strength.
what is it?
I'm gonna church.
You the take me to the king.
I'm taking you. Listen, I'm gonna take you there.
All right.
And then you got people like KeShun that can do some.
Is he smooth with it?
Listen, we got some animals now.
Is he another woo 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 woo?
Yes, he's a woo 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 times 10.
Times 10. That's right.
Times 10.
Hold on now, Key. Wait a minute. Key, welcome to the hot seat and the tan line.
How you doing?
How are you? I mean, they just ushered you on into the room. The man said, "You the woo 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 times 10."
I came in, I'm like, what in the world?
What did I just get myself into? Welcome to the madhouse. And you know what? And I was just telling them, you have been working in your fields, on the field for so long. Now you're in this vulnerable state where we're seeing a softer side of you, a side that may have been a passion, but now it's fulfilling a purpose. And there is no helmet to hide behind. There is really no team that can block you. Everybody got to be running in the same area at the same time, but you're standing here. Y'all wearing your good suits to come upon what we're doing. We're doing the male chorus. What we doing?
Gotta be in sync.
You better be. Hey, forget in sync. You better be in tune.
Oh, come on.
That's why we can't beat them. We ain't y'all regular choir male chorus now, woman. We ain't that now. We got
at least hit that rock on the way in.
Exactly.
I need the rock. Come on now. And here in Louisiana, a little who that nation. We're gonna have to find a way to get a little who. Can we remix that thing a little bit? Just somewhat? No.
That's
we're gonna talk about that.
But I love Louisiana because I played in New Orleans, so that's second home to me. Them my boys out there, so.
That's right. We'll add a little gumbo if y'all add a little gumbo flavor, a little gumbo.
We got you.
Hey, look, B is all in. Mike, okay.
All in.
Meet me at the church. We're gonna have some light bread and some cake squares, and we'll have rehearsal about a fish fry.
Yay.
Listen, AGT, if you had to tell anybody to walk away from the entire experience, what would it be?
Ooh.
B, who gonna be the first victim? B, you showed up first. So you know what? I'm gonna let you go last. And the last shall be first.
That's right.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Come on.
Let's get it. So if I was to take anything from AGT experience, first of all, AGT is some work.
Mm-hmm.
AGT is some work. You come in, you have early mornings, you have late nights, but it prepares you for if you want to do this further in your career, So it was a blessing to work with these guys and to learn so much from these guys and to share the mission, to share our goal and our message with all these people too. So that's my biggest takeaway.
I love it. I love it. Mike, that's a hard act to follow, but showed up second. And he showed up on the phone, B, talking to other people like, yeah, what's happening? Yeah, let me go. And this lightweight interview, right? Yeah, I'm hollering back at y'all. See y'all later. What is it? Tell him I say we busy.
What I'm gonna take, what I'm taking away from it. It's really not the show for me. It's the opportunity that the show gave, not just for the visibility, but for us to be around each other for 12 days.
Oh, I like that.
What you have to understand is my brothers, they know me. They know when I'm struggling, especially Bryan. Bryan has called me when I have my stuff together. And
it's big.
And so to get around these guys, see, I can fake it for you. I can be smiling. Mike crazy. Nah, but they can point it out. They can point when I'm struggling. They can point if I ain't all there. And to be around these guys for almost 12, 13, to how many days we was around each other, that was more important to me than anything, because it's hard to get Black men together. First of all, period.
Say that with your chest.
Say that
with your chest.
That ain't doing no foolishness, right? And so to get great brothers like Bryan, KeShun, BJ, Tommy Harris, to get all us together, man, and to feed each other, to feed our souls, to feed, the mental, man, that's what I take out of it.
I love that. That's deep. Hey, KeShun, you started it off. I mean, Michael over here taking us to church. That was the confession hotline right there. I don't know if I can hear from you, B. Hey, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Good night. You in the balcony. I love you too. B, that walk away from the entire experience.
To piggyback off of Mike. So yes, we always talk about how the choir is an extension of the locker room and using that time to fellowship with one another. But there was the biggest though takeaway for me, AGT, and a lot of people don't know the backstory of this. So we unfortunately we were faced with some challenges, right? Because COVID came in and it hit the choir. And then because of California law, the exposure law, we did not know who in the choir was going to be able to perform at AGT. Now, mind you, this happened less than 48 hours before we were supposed to go on stage.
Right.
So we did not know as a group who was going to perform, who was going to sing what part, what formations were going to happen up until probably 4 hours before the show.
That's crazy.
So we're stepping on stage, going to be in front of millions of people, and we have no idea who's doing what, how this is going to work. But why this resonates with me, and I told Mike this. I said, Mike, you know, we have been wired to know how to perform at a high level in stressful situations and learn how at the drop of a hat, we have to pivot and adapt and pick it up, right? And we can do it. We just prove to ourselves that we can do it. Because what y'all saw on TV, that was just a couple of hours worth of rehearsal.
Yes, sir.
Just a couple of hours. I said, but it's also disheartening how quickly we forget that we have these transferable skills. And a lot of guys, when they're finished playing, they don't realize that they still have that stuff within them. Right. And a lot of the mental stuff and a lot of the depressions and, you know, just can't seem to get their footing. It's because it's a lack of self-confidence, but it should never be. Right. Because it's always there and it won't go away. This is just how we're wired. So that was one of my biggest takeaways from AGT.
And that is awesome. And, you know, everybody talks about mental health, you know, and during the pandemic, it was the most time I've ever spent with myself, right? Some of the stuff I was all right with, some of the stuff I was like, girl, we got to get this together like now, right now. And the silence, it gets really loud. You know, and when you have to surround yourself with yourself, it's really important that people in your circle can identify when you aren't who you really are, right? Because we will mask it. We're going to practice, we're going to work, we're going to rehearsal, we're doing family things, whatever it is, you're going. But when you slow down, did you get your steps in today? Mental, physical, spiritual, and every day that looks different. And as life begins to change, we have to adapt to those changes, like you said, right? So you've been playing football all your life. You have a 10-year stint, and now it's time to do something different. It doesn't mean that you failed at continuing. It means that this chapter is now over, but life isn't over. And you have to be okay with that. The people around you have to accept that the changes that you're going through, they're going through those changes with you, but you have to be in charge of those changes. You're not doing it to just be okay with everybody else. You got to be okay within, right?
That's right.
In this phase, y'all are really taking it to the next level and showing others you don't have to be afraid to do something different. Be all right with being all right. Like, this is good. This is great. Not just for you. Man, y'all got NFL players out here singing, and you talk about you don't feel like pursuing your dreams, man, shut that noise down. You just don't want to do nothing. If that's the case. Because I mean, that's scary. It's scary. As a performer, I know it's scary to get out there on the stage with a microphone and people like, I do it, or come on now. It's scary. It's scary. And I applaud y'all so much for the courage and for saying, you know what? Power over obstacles forever. I would love to gift y'all a copy of
Say that again.
That's my book, Poof, it's the movement. And I would love to gift y'all. I'll get you information.
Please give me that.
It's Poof, Power Over Obstacles Forever. No matter who you are or who's, you know, whatever the situation is, we always have those obstacles, but we have the power over those obstacles forever. And I want to give that to you, as well as his amazing love. And I'll get with your team and make sure that I get that for you. You did not have to take the time out of your schedule today, but you were the confirmation I needed. I needed you more than you know.
Listen, make sure you
I'm doing it right now. I'm in the chat. I'm about to get it to her right now.
We on all social medias. We're gonna get this on out the way. All social media at Players Choir. But listen, we need your information. I need you on my stuff, man, so we can.
Right.
So
I got you, boss. Say less. You
wanna
stuck with me forever. I'm bringing all the cake squares and fish fry, and I gotta make sure y'all got this little player rock together. Don't y'all get out there and that come a bomb and don't come like it's supposed to now. Won't he do it?
Listen.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do
Won't he do
it? I'm so proud of y'all. I'm about to hit you up. You got less than 24 hours to follow back on all of your social media platforms. We'll self-destruct.
Oh.
So you chase the sun or let the sun chase you, but either way, y'all get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. You heard?
Love you too. There's not anything you can do about it. Tell you that all the time, Mike.
Hey, you can't do nothing about it.
Nothing about it, you heard?